I used to be homeless. I used to sleep in alleys. In the wintertime, I was sleeping on church stairs. I shoplifted from stores so that I could have something to eat that day. I was declined day after day from shelters on a waiting list because I didn't have a child, so I wasn't priority. I didn't have warm clothes, and living in New Jersey, it was so cold. It was snowing outside, and I was literally wrapped in a blanket, sleeping in the snow. Many nights I thought I wasn't going to wake up the next morning, but I still got up the next day and I hustled and I went to the library. I picked up change off the ground so that I could be able to print out resumes and make me a resume. I went to the welfare office when I got my food stamps. They used to have a program where they would help you find a job so that way you don't have to stay on government assistance. I don't know what's required of it now because I haven't had food stamps in many years. But at the time, that's what the requirement was. You had to try to get a job. I took advantage of every resource that I could find. I sat down with the welfare caseworker and I begged her to help me find anything that could help me get out of my situation. She sent me to work centers that would help with building my resume, and they would sit down and help me with interview skills. And every day I went to an interview. I spent my days sitting at the library and going to interviews. I started off with a few shitty jobs, worked my way up in those jobs, built my resume, and then started getting better jobs for myself. The point of me telling you all of this is because I am so fucking sick of people getting on the internet and talking about how desperately they need Medicaid and food stamps while they are able-bodied adults who can get the fuck up and get it for themselves.
Yo, she literally just summed up the video. I don't even think it's any more that we need to see, but I'm definitely going to get to the rest of the video. The fact of the matter is this: I hear so many excuses from people, and this is not just in regards to welfare, food stamps, government assistance, and all of that, because I truly believe that most people, overwhelmingly most people, are running in the Victim Olympics. But I also hear a lot of people use the excuse and say, well, you so far removed or whatever. You don't know people's stories. You don't know her story. You don't know my story. I could relate to what she's saying, not as much as like being homeless and all of that stuff, but when the 2008 crisis happened and everything crashed out, and I was right here smack dab in the middle of Detroit, and it was the hardest hit place in the United States of America. I spent the majority of my days in the library studying, going back to school and hustling and grinding. And so when people make the excuse and say, oh, it's just because you so far removed, or you doing okay, or you middle class, or you rich, or you that, they're making excuses why they are too lazy to get off their butts and go and hustle and go and get a bag.